Hello and welcome again to Let's Play Shadows of Om. This is Policy of Madness. Last time we finished up the Bard Stronghold quest,
For the glory of Om!
the Planar Prison.
Nothing to it.
Now we're going to head to the graveyard and hope we find Bodhi.
Whatever you want.
Nope, apparently she's not here. She's not here yet, but that's okay. Some other people are.
Who are you?
Okay. This must be with the in-between time. And we have neither the daytime people nor the nighttime people.
Oh, hello?
They'll exact revenge if you go to the garrison, which I guess is different from throwing you into a grave alive. Okay. And here's where we find Baconia.
Yes?
Once you get to this point, no matter what you choose, he'll keep talking. Alright. Sound just changed. I wonder if Bodhi is stalking me now. If it's considered nighttime now. When you study power, even before you get too far into it, you'll run into a concept called structural power. Kelemvor, being a fairly new deity, once an adventurer in some books, I think. Structural power goes like this. The only reason we're going to talk to Bodhi, by the way, is to get this off of our list. Come on, isn't it night yet? Structural power works like this. Let's presume that we're living in a post-racial society. We're actually not.
Hello there. Hello there.
But let's assume for a minute that we do. And racism is no longer a thing. I just want to be upfront and clear about this, that I don't actually believe this, because it's not true. But let's say that this actually is true, okay? And that all racism is a thing of the past. Racism in the United States was quite brutal. You had African Americans not being hired for well-paid positions. The positions that they were hired for, they were paid less than white workers doing the exact same work. Come the hell on. It is like seriously dark now. I can say meet her here at midnight.
You have been waylaid by enemies and must defend
You
yourself.
gotta be fucking kidding me.
Very fast.
Let's go!
Wow, I didn't know that would break my invisibility. Casting it on myself. Okay.
Incurtus. This should be fun.
Get a little space on her. The fuck? Okay. Don't know what that meant. What that noise was. Okay. There was also an effect in the United States that came from explicit racism in
Of course.
housing. Specifically, there were...
If
Alright,
that's
is she
what
here
you
now?
want.
Oh, Jesus Christ. African Americans would be denied mortgages. It was almost impossible for a black family to buy a house. And many people don't seem to realize that that was the case.
Is that all?
In order to buy a house in the United States, if you weren't ridiculously wealthy... Oh yeah. I need to talk to Leighton to get back there.
Well, hello to you. Oh, one is always able to provide entertainment.
I don't know if that's reputation based, if your reputation is too high, if you can't get this. I actually don't know. Alright. Let's go ahead and take care of the bear as long as we're here.
I need a swig of some strong dwarven ale.
I'm not interested in taking you alive.
Without
So, home ownership is one of the most efficient ways for wealth to be transferred between generations in the United States. It's a store of wealth. You invest your wealth in your house. It's a very highly leveraged
Whatever you want.
way to
Who are you?
make money if necessary. Look at that. More than 15,000 EXP for this, for basically a FedEx quest. And killing a guy who was not very dangerous, you know. He's got the same EXP rating as a Ghast from the first game. Shit. You know, in order to pass wealth down to your children, at least in the United States, effectively, you need a house. You buy the house, you put a store of wealth in the house, and then when you're... What kind of wand is this? Ooh, this is a Gibberling wand. Awesome. When you, you know, pass on your wealth to your children, you're going to have more of it because you paid. The thing about housing is that it's very, very leveraged. You can get, you know, if you have a 10% down payment, you can pay $10,000 and get $100,000 worth of capital. And then the capital appreciates in value by, let's say, 20%. And now your house is worth $120,000. But you only initially paid $10,000 for it. You know, plus you've been paying your premiums on your mortgage, right? But, you know, now your house is worth $120,000. So you had $10,000 in equity. You sell it, and you've changed your $10,000 into $30,000. You know, you have tripled your money. So housing, I mean, this is the way housing, especially in the middle part of the 20th century, operated. It was a way to make money, a way to increase wealth, a way to pass this wealth down, you know, a store of wealth. That you don't get this store of wealth if you're renting, okay? If you're renting, all of that equity that you're putting into the house is going to the owner of the house, not to you. And you know, that's just lost. So it's a way to store wealth. It's a way to leverage a small amount of wealth into potentially a lot of wealth. And it's something that was only really available to white people. African Americans didn't have this option. It was explicitly racist in the early days. It was just, you know, we're not going to lend to black people. Then that became kind of not legit. Come on. Really? It's not nighttime yet? It's not sufficiently nighttime for her to show up?
Just ask. What would you like?
Good Lord. Alright, let's go do something else. Let's go do Leighton's quest.
Nothing to it. Whatever you want.
Been trying to avoid doing this because... Yeah, here she comes.
Is anyone willing to hear my plea? Anyone? You all know me. I've helped some of you. Is this the thanks I get? I've helped lots of your kind.
Because she's a different kind. She's a completely different species. Capable and hardy, like I've had formal training. I'm level 15. You're like level 6. Yeah? I don't see what's wrong with that. I'm told they work so hard. Alright. How many spells do I have? Oh, plenty.
I can break an armor a leg for a copper or two.
Stay back, or you'll regret it.
Please leave me alone. Alright. He's not very dangerous. We're still not going to go toe-to-toe with him, though. You can also request dog fights in this ring. You know, if you're the kind of person who enjoys that.
Stay back, or you'll regret it. Yeah, be off with you.
What am I going to tell my mom? I don't know. What are you going to tell your mom? Alright. So here's Gorgon. Here's Yoshimo.
Fair lady, what brings you to this cesspool of corruption?
Here's an asshole. In truth it is. No, it's none of your damn business. Here's, no, not there. Here he is. Here's Minsk.
You! Have you seen my husband? I know he's in here somewhere! Hurry up, we'll make you walk the plank!
So here's where Rumar is.
Wife's been getting prickly on me arse.
Hello there.
I don't care for that. He's the voice for both of them? Okay.
You! Have you seen my husband? I know he's in here somewhere! Rumor! Rumor!
Darling?
Don't you darling me! You will come home with me this very instant!
Yes, dear.
No, you can't have him. He's mine.
Okay, so this is actually a fairly realistic little love triangle where they both want the dude, and he's cheating on his wife with this woman, but he won't leave his wife, obviously. So he's, you know, has a relationship ongoing with both of them, and yet they hate each other instead of him. He's the the one who's breaking all of his promises, but they blame each other. And this is actually a fairly adjudicated fight.
Wife's been getting prickly on me arse.
This is a fair fight, actually. They will, yeah, looks like Pris just got lucky. If Tiana gets lucky and kills her, then he'll go home with her and be like, you know, oh my goodness, you fought for me? Alright. But I'm not a big fan of those types of relationships where people, you know, blame the other woman or in some cases the other man for their loved one being scoundrels.
Well, you look like the sort who has more than 2 gold pieces to rub together.
This guy has stuff from Icewind Dale. We may want this someday, but probably not actually. Alright, let's go see if Bodhi's available.
If you say so.
Past racism, therefore, is the reason why African Americans today are less affluent than white Americans. You know, the sky has darkened. Why isn't she here? I wanted to do this shit, but I guess I can't. Alright. We're just gonna go rest and come back in the daytime. As a consequence, African Americans, there's also the problem with segregation, okay? Segregation is still real in the United States, but it was very explicit in the past. It's not explicit today, it's informalized today. Still exists, though.
I got some cheap beer for you.
But you have the situation in which one group of people has less wealth today.
Is that all?
Because they had less income in the past and they weren't allowed to keep it. They were not allowed to do the things that other Americans do to store up their wealth and pass it on to
You're rather outlandish folk to be wandering round here.
the next generation. And as a consequence of this,
I trust you are here in good faith.
African Americans don't get as good of an education as white Americans.
Helm sees all. Know that and be judged.
There's another incident where a paladin just kind of basically fucked over his family. African Americans tend to live in neighborhoods where the schools are basically neglected by the rest of the country and are therefore of lesser quality.
Helm sees all. Know that and be judged.
He didn't just die, he was murdered while you were off in Tethir.
I welcome you with outstretched hand.
Alright. This is an example of structural racism. What was I just about to do? Oh, that's right.
Whatever
We're going to do the kidnapping thing.
Just ask.
It's not actually necessary for anyone today to be racist, although I will reiterate here that it's not true that we live in a post-racial society. Racism still occurs. But in order for this kind of thing to take place, it's not required for any individual person to be racist.
Explain your intent and make it good.
Open the door, boys. Gotta get in. Alright.
Manus potentis ha!
Actually, let's move that dude out of the way. He is often in the way. See if we can charm him. Awesome. You, my friend, are going to just leave.
What would you like? Yes.
See, peasants keep stopping. They don't wander very far. He's gotta stop and pick his butt.
Tell me.
Now we have him well out of the way. Alright. Let's do this thing.
Explain your intent and make it good.
Okay.
What? If you say so.
You have to get them hostile before they escape in order to kill them and take their stuff. Not actually required to take their stuff, but why not? That's got to be my stick. Alright. These, of course, are our boots of avoidance that we used to have. We're not going to be carrying them around this time. We carried them around pretty much the entirety of that last game, but not this time. Alright.
Stand where you're at, peasant.
Okay.
If that's what you want. Whatever you desire. Is that all?
Okay. As a consequence of
Nothing to it.
having less wealth and living in places where the schools are not as good, African American children tend to
Whatever.
go to college at much reduced rates from white children. See what all it can identify here. It's in college, and it's specifically in very specific colleges. That
Just ask.
young people make the connections, the professional and social connections that are necessary to
What would you like?
start a business, for example. Not only do you learn skills at MIT or Caltech,
I got some cheap beer for you.
you,
I gotta stop dipping into me own ale.
you also you not only learn skills, you also meet people. And so when you decide to start your business,
citizen.
when you decide to start your own business, you have friends, people that you can call on to help you. I don't actually want to do this quest right now because it's going to give me a bunch of reputation. I want to finish up this nighttime shit first.
The fair folk rarely have time for small talk.
I actually really like this guy. So he's basically sexually harassing us. Don't know what had made him think that we care. That we look delicious to him, and that he's popping a boner by looking at us. Why would we care that he's having this thought, that he's imposing this conversation on us? I mean, not really, because we talk to him. But, you know, in real life, this guy would be catcalling us from across the room. You can get rid of him just by going along with his.
I got me some nice looking waitresses, don't I?
Just by going along with his. Ridiculous little.
You want some whiskey?
Alright. Now, surely she's there.
Whatever
I'll
you
heed
want.
no churlishness, peasant.
Okay. Surely she's there now.
If you say so.
Come the hell on, Bodhi. Okay. I have no idea what's going on, why Bodhi will not show up. You know, it's in college that you make these connections, and so when you go to start a business, you know, you have friends that you can call on. You know who is going to be willing to invest in your business. It's not actually required for anyone to be racist in this situation. You don't have to be a racist to be benefiting from things that African Americans don't have access to. You know, your family has money because your grandfather came back from World War II and had was eligible for the VA mortgage program, and your grandfather worked hard his whole life, and then your parents worked hard all their lives, and bought a house with an FHA mortgage, and as a consequence were able to, support you when you went to college. And an African American family doesn't have any of those resources. The familial wealth that you are enjoying is something that has been utterly denied to someone else. And so that other person is not going to college. And if this other person wants to start a business, it's hour 2. Bodhi, where are you? For real, Bodhi, where are you? There is, for real, some kind of issue here. I hear somebody walking. Oh, it's the mourner. And then, you become the next great, tech wizard in your little startup that you, started with all your friends that you met at Caltech. It becomes the next great thing, and you're a white male person who worked hard for what you accomplished. But the reason why a black guy is not standing next to you is through structural racism. And this is a way that structural power is established and maintained. So I am going to have to figure out what the hell is going on with Bodhi here, because I really want to get rid of her. But not sure what we'll do next time. I'm going to cut it off here and see if I can figure out what the hell is going on with Bodhi. But next time we'll be doing probably some more stuff. I guess we'll probably do Leighton's thing. Look at all these quests we have now. Yeah, we'll probably do Leighton's thing. But at any rate, join me then. Later.